defense.
Okay, just one other thing on Ukraine, if I may.
Yeah.
If a supplemental passes, how soon do you anticipate that U.S. military aid could start getting through to Ukraine again? Is there any timeline?
Right away. Right away. We have been clear since October, since we put forth the original, obviously, National Security Supplemental, how critical it was to get that Ukraine aid to the brave people of Ukraine who have been fighting to protect their democracy, fighting for their freedom, obviously. And so we've been saying it is critical, it is critical. They have been losing ground because of Congress inaction. But we are, and I'll add this, we are very grateful to see that the House is moving, to see that it is moving in a bipartisan way. We want to get that out of the House, obviously, out of the Senate, to the desk of this president, and he will sign it right away so that the brave people of Ukraine can get that aid. We know what Mr. Putin wants to do. He wants to take over their sovereign territory, and we cannot allow that. We know what happens when you do not stop a tyrant, when you do not stop a dictator, and we cannot have that history repeat itself. Go ahead, John.
Thanks a lot, Karine. Following up on that legislation regarding Ukraine that will be likely voted on tomorrow, Plan A was for the House to take up that bill that passed the Senate 70 to 29. That apparently is not happening. Is this, for the administration, a satisfactory Plan B, having this standalone bill passed by the House?
Well, we see it as, and he said this, the president said this maybe 2 days ago. I'm losing track of my days this week, but he strongly supports this package to reinforce Israel and Ukraine. And let's not forget the humanitarian aid that's needed for the Palestinian people in Haiti, in Sudan. This is important humanitarian aid. Let's not forget the security in Indo-Pacific. So this is what this package is going to do. The president strongly supports that. He, as I just stated to Danny, your colleague here, that the president wants to see it moved out of the House. Which is, I'm going to let the House speak to their protocols and their processes. It's going to move out of the House. He wants to see it move out of the Senate. He wants to see it on his desk so he can sign it, so we can get that aid, the security assistance, obviously, to Ukraine. That's very needed. I talked about the humanitarian aid that's needed, also the all-important aid that's needed to Israel as well and Indo-Pacific. This is important, but we see it as a package. That's how it's moving forward.
And then in response to Danny's question, you said that Ukraine has been losing ground because of congressional inaction.
Yep.
Inaction in
That's
the House.
something we've said multiple times.
So is it your expectation that because of this package that likely will pass the House, hopefully from your perspective pass the Senate, get to the president's desk, that Ukraine can win back that ground that they've lost because of congressional inaction?
Look, what we need to do right now is make sure that they have the security assistance to defend themselves, to defend their sovereign territory. I can't speak to the military operations on the ground, and what I'm repeating is something that the CIA director said even yesterday. He said that to the Big Four when they met very early on this year, that they are losing ground, and congressional inaction is hurting what Ukraine is trying to do. So we want to see, right now we're seeing action. I want to be very clear, we're grateful for the action that we're seeing coming out of the House. We want to see it out of the House, out of the Senate, to the desk of the president so that he can sign it. And so we are grateful for that movement that we're seeing. And we're grateful to both the Speaker and Leader Jeffries that they're moving in a bipartisan way to get that all very important, needed national security supplemental aid to Ukraine, Israel, humanitarian aid, obviously, and also the security of Indo-Pacific.